Shadow vision, power to the people. I repeat, this is not a drill. Operations cracking. Let's go! Go ahead and explain to me why they just let the story die. Go ahead and explain to me why they didn't turn on the TV and ask why. Go ahead and explain to me the Capitol was attacked and you weren't gonna take it. We strip, be naked, weaken nature and not be afraid at all. The facts are the light, it destroys the darkness of lies. So to your surprise, and now your demise that I surmise must have been when I was circumcised. The Pope's dying eyes as he didn't tell J.D. Vance. Thank you! In memorial of my Lark faggots, Hill, Black Order, Jesuit Clan, Francis, sick of red shoes, a dead giveaway. Global elite kissing at your feet. Where is all the money coming from for the last 2,000 years? What happened between 800 and 1400? Are you talking about it? I see you counted on people not reading books. I see you carry on people not researching history. Well, guess what, motherfucker? 9th making history. But what a minute, I thought you said you were the future. Shut up, bitch. Butterfly effects collect the particles. Spread the articles, mean the fucking dog shit about political foes and allies to keep them honest just in case some motherfucker gets an idea and I have to follow intricacies. IKEA. Murderers, massive 3 topless, run after me screaming, I just wanna talk. No, dumbass. The last LARP is me, flood machine, soon to the bars, doing the charts, spinning the stars, LARP faggots, queefing in awe. Oh, say, can you see by the dankest of memes with so proudly shit post, makes you cry and then do it again. New fag, low shill, fed cock, click clack, home phone, Johnny 5, Notchnet, action news. Shadow vision, power to the people, I repeat, this is not a drill, operation cracking. Go ahead and explain to me why they just let the story die. Go ahead and explain to me why they didn't turn on the TV and ask why. Go ahead and explain to me the Capitol was attacked and you weren't gonna take it. We strip, be naked, weaken nature and not be afraid at all. The facts are the light, it destroys the darkness of lies. So to your surprise and now your demise that I surmised must have been when I was circumcised. The Pope's dying eyes as he didn't tell J.D. Vance. Thank you! In memorial of my Lark faggots, Hill, Black Order, Jesuit Clan, Francis, sick of red shoes, a dead giveaway. Literally! Global elite kissing at your feet. Where is all the money coming from for the last 2,000 years? What happened between 800 and 1400? Are you talking about it? I see you counted on people not reading books. I see you carry on people not researching history. Well, guess what, motherfucker? 9th making history. But what a minute, I thought you said you were the future. Shut up, bitch. Butterfly effects collect the particles, spread the articles. 9th action news.
The press will not be free to tell lies. That is not freedom for the people, but a tyranny over their minds and souls. Much humbug is talked on this subject. What is press freedom? In practice, it means the right of a few millionaires to corner newspaper shares on the stock exchange and to voice their own opinions and interests, irrespective of the truth or of the national interest.
The press died long ago. The press's freedoms ran out when the journalists stopped researching, fact-finding to become a face or a name. When reporters stopped reporting and began repeating, you hear the same news everywhere. That is how you know it is not news, but just a story you are being fed. Real news is full of dissidents, contrary ideas, and facts. Facts are hard to come by anymore. Used to be a dime a dozen. Knowing what you want and setting goals to achieve it. Within. Wishing for things but taking no action. Losing. There are certain basic qualities and characteristics you've got to have. Number 1, you've got to have a will to win. Veritas, Baron Vince, support by truth. Where's Army PSYOP? 2, 4, 7, 8. Words hold power over men, power even the sword would fear. A news story should be like a mini skirt on a pretty woman, long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to be interesting. News is something someone wants suppressed. Everything else is just advertising. I learned a long time ago that reality was much weirder than anyone's imagination. Sometimes fiction can have as much impact as the truth. So much so that Many truths have been portrayed as fiction. You will not even believe the truth, even if it was undeniably presented to you. That is how you know they won, and you have lost all freedoms. The road to truth will be painful. If I'd written all the truth I knew for the past 10 years, about 600 people, including me, would be rotting in prison cells from Rio to Seattle today. Absolute truth is a very rare and dangerous commodity in the context of professional journalism. The time will come when diligent research over long periods will bring to light things which now lie hidden a single lifetime. Even though entirely devoted to the sky would not be enough for the investigation of so vast a subject. And so this knowledge will be unfolded only through long successive ages. There will come a time when our descendants will be amazed that we did not know things that are so plain to them. Many discoveries are reserved per ages still to come, when memory of us will have been effaced. Constantly exposing yourself to popular culture and the mass media will ultimately shape your reality tunnel in ways that are not necessarily conducive to achieving your sole purpose and life calling. Modern society has generally lost the plot, slavishly following its false gods and idols makes no sense in a spiritually aware life. Antoine St. Martin. Disinformation is duping. Misinformation is tricking. Be the news now. Be the news now.
Once upon a time, there was a Dodger faggot masquerading online, talking all the time, saying nothing. Zip, zero, zilk, zip, nada. Go blow a transvestite, you female to male dyke. Don't ever think that we don't know it's for clicks. You have nothing original, so you just talk shit. It's amusing, and I'm using you. So do what I want you to. Mimetics, power of vibration. Got you so mad you can't sit still hating. So go get your little army of queers. We can go at it as simple as clear. Y'all will find discernment before you find my fear. Headstrong, hitting the bong, coming up with dope ass IDs. Meanwhile, your intelligence is paint by a number like a child. Ninth-net, wow. Absoluteness schizo. Wait, that's you, not us. Sorry, I'm Blitz, bro. And still ripping this shit quicker than you sucking off a LARP nigga for shield clicks. You a little bitch. I'm waiting and watching. Posted up with my AR, laser beam ready to squash them. Black, 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 pow. What's up in your head? It's Friday the 13th. B said, nigga, you dead. What are you doing to help with Op 9P2P? Power to the people, get involved. Speak up, show them all. It's been 100 days, be the change. Change only happens when you make it happen. Godspeed. Once upon a time, there was a dagger faggot masquerading online, talking all the time, saying nothing. Zip, zero, zilp, zilp, nada. Go blow a transvestite, you female to male type. Don't ever think that we don't know what's for clicks. You have nothing original, so you just talk shit. It's amusing, and I'm using you. So do what I want you to. Mimetics, power of vibration. Got you so mad you can't sit still hating. So go get your little army of queers. We can go at it as simple as clear. Y'all will find discernment before you find my fear. Big. Headstrong, hitting the bong, coming up with dope ass ideas. Meanwhile, your intelligence is paint by a number like a child. Ninth-net, wow. Absolutely schizo. Wait, that's you, not us. Sorry, I'm Blitz, bro. And still ripping this shit quicker than you sucking off a LARP nigga for shield clicks. QAnon, little bitch. I'm waiting and watching. Posted up with my AR, laser beam ready to squash them. Black, 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 pow. What's up in your head? It's Friday the 13th. B said, nigga, you dead. What are you doing to help with Op 9P2P? Power to the people, get involved. Speak up, show them all. It's been 100 days, be the change. Change only happens when you make it happen. Godspeed.
shadow, a legendary flow, bringing power to the people, let the whole world know. No gimmicks, no tricks, just the realest in the game. We ain't here for the fame, we about that righteous claim. The ghost in the silence moves when the night falls, whispers in the wind, echoing through the walls. The shadow got the message, it's a truth that's profound, spreading knowledge to the streets, gotta lift them off the ground. Powers from the past, now the people feel the rise. They ain't blind to the truth, no more living in disguise. The ghost saw the struggle, the shadow gave the key. Now we're all breaking chains, setting minds free. The ghost in the shadow, the power that we wield, taking back the streets, making the truth revealed. No clickbait, just facts, stay ready for the sound, bringing power to the people, watch the whole world rebound. The whole world rebound. They tried to hide the knowledge, keep it locked away, but the ghost and the shadow, man, they led the way. The people started waking, feeling something deep inside, an ancient force awakened. No longer can they hide, from the corners of the city to the heart of the land. The shadow whispered truth, now they all understand. No more chains on the minds, no more lies they can sell. The ghost and the shadow made the truth rebel. Now the people got the power and they take it in stride. Unity's the weapon, watch the nations collide. The force of a movement can't stop what's begun. The ghost and the shadow bringing light to the sun. The ghost and the shadow, the power that we wield, taking back the streets, making the truth revealed. No clickbait, just facts, they ready for the sound, bringing power to the people, watch the whole world rebound. The whole world rebound. So let the story be told as the truth unfolds. The ghost and the shadow, the power we hold. No gimmicks, no hype, just the realest in the place, bringing power to the people, changing up the race. But the whole world rebound.
Internet police just for making a comment about Virginia Jew Freeze. Judas Priest the week, she deceased. I got one free warning from the big bad podcast command, dishing out Twitter blocks just as fast as he can. Nigga, you bore me, that's why you got the sauce as it go. When you in the Lindell Virtue Circuit went broke. This just in 9net Action News has a statement from the bear on. Aw hell, a pussy fart, I should sell this in a jar. Everyone says shadow vision but doesn't know what we are. Like a road to car or the sky to a plane, I'm in your brain the moment I inflict pain. Sit still, faggot, I ain't even made your ass a sticker yet. A mean vet with the non-tech, learn to give anyone respect, unless of course you need to get checked. Hey, digital badge of Vagisil, we ain't hiding, we wreck silos, rebuild and grow. Spread truth even if you have to rattle someone's cage about the climate. Fucking flabbergasted, spastic, as if you couldn't Google Tor's name the same as me. You just choose to look the other way and kiss a 3-foot cheek. Don't worry, this is a parody. Music app generated songs, so no real world action is taking place. You're paranoid delusional. Listen bruh, baby fish ain't the only aquatic addict in the reefer madness getting after it. Police speech? Nigga, you fascist? Muzzle my ability to shit post about your fake integrity. What is this, your breaking news coverage of the 22 midterms? I just figured since you talk shit to BX, you would automatically verklempt. And I was right, cuz you took the bait like rage tards with pseudo fan bases always do. Go smile on camera again and say, Austin is Q. Op 9, Op 9, deep digs lead to the Kraken. You better put a goddamn muzzle on that fucking dog. I'm calling the cops. Oh, shit, it's the internet police just for making a comment about Virginia Jew Freeze. Judas Priest the week, she deceased. I got one free warning from the big bad podcast cancer man, dishing out Twitter blocks just as fast as he can. Nigga, you bore me, that's why you got the sauce. Here's a Joe. When you in the Lindell Virtue Circuit went broke, this just a 9-net Action News has a statement from the bear on. Him, pussy fart, I should sell this in a jar. Everyone says shadow vision, but doesn't know what we are. Like a road to car or the sky to a plane, I'm in your brain the moment I inflict pain. Sit still, faggot, I ain't even made your ass a sticker yet. A mean vet with a non-tech, learn to give anyone respect, unless of course you need to get checked. Hey, digital badge of Vagisil, we ain't hiding, we wreck silos, rebuild and grow. Spread truth even if you have to rattle someone's cage. Op 9, power to the people. Demand a free press to say what it wants when it wants forever. 9-net Action News.
All right, buckle up, because today we are diving into some seriously wild stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a whole stack of 9-net Action News articles,
Okay.
which, if you aren't familiar, it's like super pro-Trump. And then on top of that, we've got these leaked QAnon documents.
Wow. So it's like we're getting two completely different perspectives on the same events.
Exactly. It's a total peek behind the curtain, of this movement that's kind of at a crossroads right now.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how those narratives clash, especially with Trump in his second term.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of QAnon, I'm sure you've at least heard of it, but just in case, you know about all that storm stuff, right?
Yeah, like Trump secretly rounding up all the satanic elites and everything.
Exactly. And then there's the whole Great Awakening thing, where everyone suddenly sees the truth about the deep state.
Right. And we've seen how these beliefs can have some pretty serious consequences in the real world. Like people have been driven to violence because of this stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not something to take lightly. Okay, so these 9-net articles are painting a very specific picture of Trump's second term.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think they'd be like all celebratory, given their pro-Trump stance.
Right.
And I mean, they are to an extent.
Okay.
They're going on and on about all these border security successes, and they've got all these crazy stats about how illegal crossings have just plummeted.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying it's like a 93% reduction since late 2023.
Wow.
Closed shelters, the whole 9 yards.
That's a huge decrease.
Right. It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah, I can see why you said wild stuff earlier.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really trying to hammer home this idea that Trump is delivering on his promises.
Exactly. They're using all these specific numbers and anecdotes to make it feel like super tangible,
Right, like it's all actually happening, grounded in reality.
Yeah, exactly. And their language is super bold, too.
Yeah.
They're throwing around phrases like Trump's making it real and returning power to everyday Americans. It's like they're trying to position him as this ultimate problem solver.
The guy can fix anything.
Exactly. Even things his predecessors couldn't.
Which is, pretty clear dig at the previous administration.
Oh, for sure.
They're not even trying to be subtle about it.
Nope.
So it's all about Trump being effective, competent, everything the other side wasn't.
Right. But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
These 9-net articles are also pushing this narrative that QAnon is basically failing away.
Fading away.
Yeah, like it's becoming totally irrelevant in Trump's second term. Almost like it served its purpose and is now quietly disappearing.
That is interesting.
Right. It makes you think, if QAnon was so central to Trump's base in his first term, why are they suddenly downplaying it now?
Yeah, why the sudden shift? Is it strategic, maybe, to make Trump look more presidential for his second term? Or is there something else going on?
Right. It's like, are they trying to distance him from the more extreme elements of the movement, especially after January 6th?
Yeah, that could be part of it, for sure.
Okay, and then we have Operation 9, which is just completely bizarre.
What's that?
So it was originally a Biden initiative from late 2024, but the details were super vague.
Okay.
And now Trump's adopted it, and suddenly it's all about energy independence and the government working for the people, not the elites.
Wow, talk about co-opting your opponent's ideas.
I know, right? It's crazy.
But it's also pretty clever, politically speaking.
Yeah.
He's taking this vague concept and reshaping it to fit his own agenda.
Right.
And by doing that, he's basically neutralizing a potential attack.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying, look, I could even take your ideas and make them better.
Exactly. But here's what I don't get.
What's that?
If Trump's supposedly in control and everything's going so well, why is there even still a need for QAnon?
That's a great question.
Their whole thing was that Trump was this secret warrior battling the deep state.
Right. So if he's in power now, shouldn't the battle be over?
Exactly. And that's where these leaked QAnon documents come in.
Okay. How so?
They paint a very different picture, like things are not as rosy as 9gNet is making them seem.
Lately.
Yeah, these documents show a movement that's actually fracturing.
Fracturing.
Yeah, they're struggling to reconcile their beliefs with the reality of Trump's second term.
So while 9gNet is presenting this image of stability and success,
Right.
QAnon itself is actually in turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's this whole B team thing that emerges from these documents.
B team. What's that?
So they claim a connection to Q, but they're pushing a totally different agenda.
Different how?
It's like they're trying to reform the movement from within.
Reform it.
Yeah, they're urging Anons to be more critical and discerning, like think for themselves.
Isn't that kind of contradictory? I mean, QAnon is all about trusting these cryptic messages, right?
I know, right? It's like, how do you guide people toward critical thinking when their whole belief system is based on blind faith?
Yeah, it's a real paradox.
So how are they even trying to do that? What are their tactics?
Well, these documents show them using phrases like psyops and playbooks,
Okay.
which suggests they're being very deliberate about how they're trying to guide the Anons.
Interesting.
It's like they're trying to play a very delicate game, empowering the Anons without totally destroying the whole framework of QAnon.
This is getting really good. And then on top of all that, you have Austin Steinbart,
Who's that?
the self-proclaimed Q from the future.
Wait, what? Q from the future?
Yeah, his story adds a whole other layer of craziness to this whole thing.
Okay, you have to tell me more about this guy.
So he was claiming he was Q from the future, talking about time travel and all this wild stuff.
Time travel. Seriously.
Seriously. But then he gets arrested for extortion, so
Oh, wow.
it kind of makes you question the whole thing, right?
Sure.
Like, is this guy for real or just a total con artist?
Right. It really makes you think about the nature of belief and why people follow these kinds of figures.
And the craziest part is his story doesn't end there.
It doesn't.
Nope. Even after serving his sentence, he's still engaging with QAnon.
Really?
Yeah, just recently he was on X defending General Flynn, saying that Flynn was a victim of MKUltra.
MKUltra. Like these supposed mind control program.
That's the one.
Wow. So even within QAnon, there are all these different layers of belief and interpretation.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got this fracturing QAnon, a mysterious B team that's encouraging critical thinking, and then you have Steinbart still clinging to his Q identity.
This is a lot to take in.
I know, right? And we're just getting started. There's one more key player we need to introduce you to.
Who's that?
The Baron of Arizona.
The Baron of Arizona.
Yeah, and his story might be the most intriguing of all.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this guy.
Well, he's like a QAnon historian, meticulously documenting the movement's evolution,
Okay.
especially the B team's activities.
Interesting.
And he seems to have some insider knowledge, even claiming he's interacted with Kash Patel.
Wait, Kash Patel, like the former Trump administration official?
That's the one.
Wow, so he's got connections to Trump's inner circle. This is getting good.
It is, right. And get this, just before Q's supposed return in January 2025, he posted this cryptic message warning of a terrifying force emerging from the shadows.
A terrifying force.
Yeah, it's like he knew something was coming.
Hold on, back up a sec.
Yeah.
Q's return. I thought they went silent after December 2020.
They did.
So what happened?
In January 2025, new posts claiming to be from Q started appearing online.
So after 4 years of silence, Q just suddenly came back.
Yep.
Did the Anons just accept that? How could they be sure it was really Q?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
There was a huge issue with trip code verification.
A trip code.
Yeah, it's like a digital signature that Q used to authenticate their posts.
Oh, okay.
But with these new posts, the trip code didn't match the one Q had used before.
So there's no way to be sure if it's really Q.
Nope, not at all.
That's got to be a huge blow to the movement's credibility.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then what? What happens with the Baron of Arizona?
Well, this is where he really steps in. He publicly challenges Q to address this whole B-drop incident, which had never been officially acknowledged by the QAnon leadership.
Wait, the B drop? What's that?
So back in May 2021, there was this huge gathering of QAnon influencers and followers in Dallas.
Okay.
They were all waiting for the return of JFK Jr., who they believed had faked his death.
Seriously, they thought JFK Jr. was coming back.
Yep, it was a whole thing.
Wow.
But of course, JFK Jr. never showed up.
That's got to be a huge disappointment.
Oh yeah, it led to a lot of disillusionment among the followers.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And to make matters worse, this message appeared on Q's private board that day, signed B.
B?
Yeah, and it questioned the motives of the influencers who had organized the Dallas event.
So, like, they were accusing them of exploiting the followers.
Exactly, and it urged Anons to verify, verify, verify.
Hmm.
It implied that some people within the movement were just using the followers for their own gain.
So the B team is publicly calling out the QAnon establishment. Yep, pretty much.
That's a bold move.
It was. And the fact that Q never addressed it just added to the suspicion and turmoil.
Okay, so the Baron of Arizona is using this trip code controversy to force a confrontation
Exactly.
and to bring up this B-drop incident.
Yeah, he's not holding back.
So this is setting the stage for a power struggle within QAnon.
Oh, absolutely. Different factions are vying for control of the narrative.
This is like a real-life thriller unfolding right before our eyes.
I know, right? So what was Q saying in these new posts, and how did the Anons react?
Well, the content of the new posts is interesting.
How so?
They're still focused on shadowy figures, secret technologies, and now they're really emphasizing FOIA requests.
FOIA requests. What does that have to do with QAnon?
That's what's so intriguing. Q is encouraging Anons to become these, like, citizen investigators.
Citizen investigator.
Yeah, and use the Freedom of Information Act to expose government secrets and corruption.
So instead of waiting for the storm, they're supposed to take matters into their own hands. Exactly. And they're specifically targeting these chief FOIA officers in different government agencies.
Chief FOIA officers, who are they?
Well, they're the people responsible for handling FOIA requests within their agencies.
Okay.
And Q is basically saying that they're key players in the deep state conspiracy, blocking the release of information that would expose the truth.
So Q is saying they're hiding evidence.
Pretty much.
So it's like Q is weaponizing FOIA.
You could say that.
Wow, this is intense. So Q is back pushing this new agenda, but how does this all tie back to Trump's second term and those 9gNet articles?
That's the million-dollar question. Remember, those 9gNet articles were all about Trump restoring order and delivering on his promises.
Right, it was all stability and success.
But these Q drops are suggesting that the fight's not over.
So even with Trump back in power, they still believe there's this massive conspiracy going on.
Exactly, and that creates this dissonance between the two narratives.
Yeah, it's like, if Trump is supposedly in control, why is this battle still raging?
Right. What does this all mean for the Anons? Are they starting to question things?
Well, that's what we're going to delve into next, because they're definitely grappling with some conflicting information.
This is fascinating.
I know, right? It's like we're watching this whole thing unfold in real time.
And we're just scratching the surface.
Exactly. There's so much more to unpack, and we'll get into it all next time.
Can't wait.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's like whiplash, right? You're a QAnon believer, you're seeing these internal documents, and then boom, Q is back, but can't even prove it's them.
It's like the rug's been pulled out from under them.
Exactly. And all this doubt creeps in. Are these new Q drops legit? Are the leaders even trustworthy anymore? It's got to be a mind-boggling situation.
Makes you question everything. So what was the overall reaction from the Anons? Did they buy it, or are they skeptical?
It was a mixed bag, really. Some Anons were just ecstatic that Q was back. They brushed aside the whole trip code thing as like a minor technical glitch or maybe even a 4D chess move to avoid censorship.
So some people were just happy to have their faith reaffirmed, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. They were clinging to that hope. But then you had a good chunk of Anons who were super skeptical, like they weren't buying it.
Okay, makes sense. Not everyone's going to blindly follow.
Right. They started pointing out inconsistencies in the writing style of the new posts compared to the old ones, and they noticed a lack of those specific details that Q used to give. You know, the stuff that made the drops feel credible.
So they were starting to see through the facade.
Exactly. And this is where the Baron of Arizona comes in. He was really good at navigating this whole situation. He became this voice of reason, urging Anons to think for themselves and not just blindly follow.
It's like he was trying to pull them back from the edge of this conspiracy cliff.
Yeah, you could say that. But his motives are still a bit of a mystery, right? Is he genuinely trying to protect the Anons, or does he have his own agenda? We're still trying to figure that out.
A lot of layers to this guy. Okay, so let's get into the content of these new Q drops. What was Q actually saying after this big comeback?
Well, there was a mix of familiar themes with some new twists thrown in. They were still harping on the shadowy figures controlling the world and the deep state working against Trump.
So the classic good versus evil narrative that QAnon thrives on.
Exactly. But now there's this huge emphasis on FOIA requests. Q is essentially telling the Anons to become these citizen detectives, using FOIA to uncover all the government secrets and corruption.
So instead of waiting for the storm, they're taking matters into their own hands.
Precisely. And the strange thing is, Q specifically calls out these chief FOIA officers in various government agencies. It's like they become the new targets.
Instead of politicians or celebrities, it's these relatively unknown government officials. Interesting shift.
Yeah, Q is basically saying that these FOIA officers are the real gatekeepers of the truth, the ones hiding all the evidence of this massive conspiracy.
Pretty clever tactic, actually. It creates a whole new layer of enemies for the Anons to focus on.
And it's a tactic that could have real-world implications. Imagine these FOIA offices suddenly flooded with requests from thousands of QAnon followers.
It'd be chaos, like a denial-of-service attack on the government.
You could think of it that way. But Q's real goal seems to be to paint these FOIA officers as complicit in the conspiracy, or to force them to release information that would somehow validate QAnon's claims.
Oh, I see. They're trying to back them into a corner.
Right. It's all about manipulating the system to fit their narrative.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, there's this one FOIA officer that Q really singles out, Marianne Mannheim. Who is she, and why is she so important to Q's new narrative?
Well, Marianne Mannheim has a long history in government. She's held a bunch of positions related to FOIA and information management, so she's definitely an expert in her field.
So not just some random bureaucrat.
Nope. And that's exactly what makes her so interesting to Q. They're basically claiming that Mannheim knows all the secrets, that she's this master manipulator pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Painting her as the ultimate deep state puppet master. But is there anything to back up these accusations?
That's where it gets a little flimsy. Q's posts don't really provide any concrete evidence. It's mostly hints and speculation, with a lot of nudging for the Anons to do their own research and connect the dots.
Classic Q, right. Lead them down the rabbit hole and let them draw their own conclusions, which are usually the wrong ones.
Exactly. It's all about misinformation. Overwhelm people with information, let them fill in the gaps, and you can pretty much make them believe anything.
So in Q's world, Marianne Mannheim is guilty by association just because she holds a powerful position and knows a lot about information management.
Pretty much. Anyone connected to power, especially in a field like information control, can easily be painted as an enemy in a conspiracy theory.
Okay, so we've got Q back with this new FOIA-focused agenda, but it feels really disconnected from those 9gNet articles that were all about Trump restoring order and stability. How do these two narratives even fit together?
It's a great question, and it really highlights the tension at the heart of QAnon. On one hand, you have 9gNet saying that everything's great, Trump's winning, and QAnon is fading away.
It's the mission accomplished banner all over again.
Exactly. But then you have Q coming back with this message that the deep state is still a huge threat and the Anons need to keep fighting. It's like they're saying Trump's return hasn't actually fixed anything.
So they're admitting that Trump being in power hasn't solved the problem they were supposedly fighting against.
Yeah, it creates this cognitive dissonance for QAnon followers. They want to believe that Trump is in control and everything will be okay, but then they get these messages saying the world is still in danger. It's a tough position to be in.
It must make them question everything. Are they starting to doubt Trump or Q or both?
It's hard to say for sure. But this conflict between the 9gNet narrative and Q's new narrative is causing some serious turmoil within the QAnon community.
So we have this internal split in QAnon, a mysterious B team pushing for critical thinking, a self-proclaimed Q from the future, and now this whole FOIA angle. Where does the Baron of Arizona fit into all of this? Is he trying to help the Anons or just manipulating them?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We know he's playing some kind of long game here, but what's his ultimate goal?
He seems to be pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes.
Remember his connection to Kash Patel. It's not like he's just some random internet personality. He's got connections, information, and he's not afraid to use them.
And then there's that cryptic message he posted right before Q's return, warning about a terrifying force. Was he trying to warn the Anons? Or was he trying to scare them into following him?
It's possible he was doing both. He could be genuinely concerned about the direction of the movement, but also see an opportunity to gain more influence.
So maybe he's not a hero or a villain, but something in between, a complex figure operating in the gray areas.
Yeah, he's a reminder that the world isn't always black and white, and people's motives are often much more complicated than they seem.
Well, that seems to be the overarching theme of QAnon itself, wouldn't you say?
It really is. It's a story filled with twists and turns, with characters who are always shifting and evolving. And it's a story that's not over yet.
We still don't know what the future holds for QAnon, for Trump, or for the Baron of Arizona.
But one thing's for sure. The battle for the hearts and minds of the Anons is far from over.
And as we've seen, the outcome of that battle could have very real consequences. Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is the importance of critical thinking. Don't just blindly accept any narrative, even one that seems to confirm your existing beliefs.
Right. Question everything, do your own research, and be wary of anyone who claims to have all the answers.
Especially when it comes to something as complex and ever-changing as QAnon.
Well said. Yeah, it's like we're watching a game of 4D chess play out in real time, except nobody knows the rules. So as we try and piece together this final part of the puzzle, what do you make of the Baron of Arizona? Is he trying to protect the Anons from further manipulation, or is he just another player in this game?
Honestly, it's tough to say for sure. He's definitely playing some kind of long game, but the question is, what's his end game?
Right. Is he trying to lead them towards something better, or just trying to gain power for himself?
Yeah, it's hard to tell if his intentions are altruistic or self-serving. But one thing's clear. He understands QAnon, like really understands it, and he knows how to manipulate it.
It's like he's using their own playbook against them.
Exactly. He's pushing the Anons to think critically, to question the information they're consuming, and to be skeptical of those who claim to have all the answers.
Which is kind of ironic, considering the whole premise of QAnon is blindly trusting these cryptic messages from who knows where.
Oh, totally. It's like he's trying to infect the movement with a virus of doubt.
Trying to weaken it from the inside out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what makes it even more complex is his connection to Kash Patel.
Yeah, that really throws a wrench in things. I mean, it gives him certain legitimacy, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's not like he's just some random guy on the internet. He's got ties to people in power. It makes his claims harder to dismiss.
And let's not forget that cryptic message he posted right before Q's return, you know, the one warning about a terrifying force. Do you think he was genuinely trying to warn the Anons, or was it a tactic to scare them into following him?
It could be a bit of both,
Yeah.
right? Maybe he saw something troubling on the horizon, but he also saw an opportunity to solidify his position within the movement.
So maybe he's not a hero or a villain, but something in between. A complex figure operating in the gray areas, just like Q.
That's what makes this whole thing so fascinating and frustrating at the same time. Nothing is clear-cut, motives are murky, and it's hard to know who to trust.
And that ambiguity makes it so easy for misinformation and manipulation to thrive.
Right. Like QAnon thrives in the shadows, in the spaces where doubt and uncertainty fester.
Exactly. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into QAnon, what's the most important thing our listeners should take away from all of this?
I think the biggest lesson here is the critical importance of critical thinking. Don't just blindly accept any narrative, even if it seems to confirm what you already believe.
Yeah, question everything. Don't be afraid to dig deeper, do your own research, and form your own conclusions.
Exactly. Don't let anyone else do your thinking for you, especially when it comes to something as complex and constantly evolving as QAnon.
It's a rabbit hole that never seems to end.
But hopefully this deep dive has shed some light on the twists and turns of that rabbit hole.
And maybe helped our listeners develop those critical thinking skills that are so crucial in navigating the world today.
Exactly. Because the world is a messy, complicated place.
Yeah.
And there are rarely any easy answers.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of QAnon.
It's been a wild ride. But remember, the deep dive doesn't end here.
There's always more to learn, more to explore, and more to question.
Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep those minds sharp.
Until next time.